Does the new Acura ZDX look like a hearse? Okay, if it does, it's a pretty baller looking hearse.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So Acura has sent me this all new and all electric ZDX to keep for an entire week to be able to give you guys the best thorough review possible. This video is going to cover the design and the features of the ZDX, but if you're interested in how this thing drives, I've made two different test drive videos with this car, one being a full in-depth test drive and the other one being a night drive. And I'll have both of those videos linked on the screen at the end of this video. And before we get into it, big thank you to Acura for sending me the ZDX. So as always, we're going to start this review under the hood. What we have here is not an engine, nor do we have a front trunk. But what we do have is dual electric motors that put out 499 horsepower, 544 pound-feet of torque, and that is paired with a 1-speed automatic transmission. This is equipped with all-wheel drive, but it is not Acura's super handling all-wheel drive system because this is made by General Motors. 0 to 60 time is a very respectable 4.5 seconds. This can DC fast charge from 20 to 80% in roughly 42 minutes. This Type S variant has up to 278 miles of range. The fuel economy equivalent is as follows. The equivalent of 83 miles per gallon in the city, 74 on the highway, and 78 combined. And the capacity of the battery is 102 kilowatt hours. Alright, now let's take a look at the front end. So I think Acura actually did a good job with their design language and keeping it cohesive with the rest of their lineup. Especially one with it being an EV and, there being differences, especially with grills and whatnot, but also the fact that it was manufactured by GM with GM parts. So if we look at the grille, you can see, well, it's not really a grille, it's an outline of a grille. The diamond pentagon grille, it's still there. They put a nice LED light bar going around it, so that looks really good at night. And the typical diamond inserts that are inside of it, if you look closely, you can see it's actually embossed into the bodywork. And if we look over at the headlights, they're still the typical jewel eye LEDs that we find on all the other current Acura models. We have the chicane LED daytime running light up at the top. It also doubles as the turn signal. And if you look at the jewel eye elements down at the bottom, you can see that they're staggered for the low beam and the high beam. You can see right here I'm switching off between the two. Now, even though the grille doesn't have any openings, if we drop down to the bottom, you can see the bottom has some openings. We have one down in the middle, but it doesn't quite go all the way across. That's finished in a nice gloss black. And then there's this silver accent piece that kind of comes up at an angle. Now, this is a point of contention for a lot of people with the design of the new ZDX. The bottom of the car is finished in this silver color, and it's like that, I believe, on all the different color options that the ZDX comes with. And some people just think there's a lot going on because you have the body color for this one, which is blue. You have the silver at the bottom, and then it's blacked out at the top. There's kind of a lot going on. And I do agree that I think that silver would be better either as just the same as the body color or even gloss black. It's a matter of opinion, of course, but yeah, I do think at the very least, just the blue would look better. And now turning to the side profile, you can see this has a very wagon-like appearance. EV SUVs, they tend to be lower and longer. They have longer wheelbases than standard SUVs. And I've seen a ridiculous amount of comments of people saying that this car looks like a hearse. And I think it's for two reasons. One, the silhouette being kind of wagon-like, but I guess in a way, maybe it resembles the shape of a hearse. But the main thing I think people are talking about is this chrome piece at the top and the way it slopes down at this angle towards the rear. It looks reminiscent of whatever that bar is that you see going at that same angle on the back of hearses. But in all honesty, if I didn't hear anyone else say, oh, it looks like a hearse, I don't think I ever would have thought that. I think it's a funny joke, but I don't think it actually looks like a hearse. But anyway, you got that chrome at the top, blacked out power folding mirrors with LED turn signal indicators, although the base of the mirror is still body colored. Now let's take a look at the wheel and tire setup. This is a 22-inch two-tone wheel. It's exclusive to the Type S trim. The A-Spec only gets a 20-inch wheel. And with this being a GM car, you can see it has 6 lug nuts instead of the traditional 5 you typically see on Acura. But one thing I do have to say I really like are these super bright yellow 6-piston Brembo brake calipers. I mean, it's a very interesting color choice, but I think it matches the personality of the car well. I mean, have you ever seen a hearse with yellow brakes? Crazy. The tires it's riding on are Michelin Primacy all season, and the size is 275/40. So now you see as I come up to the car, we have welcome lights, tail lights come on, the headlights come on, and see right here, after unfolding the mirrors, puddle lights with the Acura logo. As you can see, the lights also come on the inside, and they're quite bright. And now turning to the rear. Down below you can see the bumper is finished in gloss black. I think the back actually looks very clean. I really like the taillights, the chicane LED. The taillights are pretty much identical to the ones on the Acura MDX. And of course, you have yet another Type S badge. But back to the bumper, you can see 4 integrated parking sensors and 2 integrated reflectors. And now heading back into the cargo area, this does open hands-free. Now when you first open it and you have the seats up, the cargo volume is 28.7 cubic feet. When you go and you lift up the floor, there's room for like some small items, but really not much space because you do have a battery down there. Now off to the left side, you have a 12-volt outlet, and you also have powered controls to drop the seats. You can see when you press the button, it just drops straight down. But unfortunately, that's only for going down. You can't use the same button to bring them back up. But once you do fold down those second row seats, you now have 62 cubic feet of cargo space. And a quick shout out to this video sponsor, FitCam X. FitCam X is a custom hardwired 4K dash cam that is made for your specific car's interior with no exposed wires showing. And it connects to your phone via the FitCam X app. And they're offering all my viewers 10% off everything on their site using promo code OPTICAL. Link in the description.
I think the important question that needs to be answered here is this interior worth the $75,000 price tag? And the other question is, with this being a General Motors vehicle, does it pass for an Acura? You're gonna see inside here that everything is GM parts. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but is it good enough?
So starting over on the dash. So right here we have stitched leatherette. It's very soft. Gray contrast stitching going across. This part in the back here is a kind of soft touch plastic. It's not leatherette, but it's still decently soft. Now coming up over here, this is the housing around the head-up display. It has stitching, and the texture of it feels like leather, but it's rather hard. It's not very soft. And same for this piece over here. But the part I'm not so crazy about is right here. This is just plastic, and it goes all the way across the air vents and all the way to the end here. I think something better could have been done with this. All right, the most annoying thing about this car is that when this door opens, this sound, it does not stop, and you can't turn it off. So bear with me. So over here on the door panel, the same leatherette that we have on the dash. We have a nice chrome trim piece right here. This integrated into it is an ambient lighting strip. There's a nice brushed metallic trim that goes around the door handle here. White leather on the armrest and up on the side. Speaker grill for the Bang & Olufsen audio system. We have an aluminum Type S branded door sill. Down below we also get nice aluminum pedals. One thing I will say about the interior, it's very quiet in here. And also the doors, not only are they heavy, but when you close them, they're substantial. Build quality does not feel flimsy whatsoever. No creaks and rattles when I'm driving. So I'd say the build is very solid. Okay, so now let's take a look here at the seats. I'll start by saying they are extremely comfortable. Not like other Acura seats, they are GM seats, but still extremely comfortable. The color is orchid white. The seating surface is fully perforated. So we have white leather, black contrast stitching, black contrast piping, and this dark gray suede accent too.
The headrest has the Type S logo embossed right into it. The front seats are heated and ventilated, and both front seats have power adjustable thigh supports, power lumbar, and back bolster customization. There's also 2 memory settings for the driver and passenger. All right, now taking a look here at the steering wheel, you'll notice it does not really look like other Acura wheels, and well, obvious answer, it's a GM steering wheel. But nice perforated leather going all the way around, except for this part up top. There's some light gray colored contrast stitching on the inside. Now, over here, you have your controls for your hands-free driving and cruise control. Here is the heat button for the steering wheel, so heated wheel. Audio sources, voice commands. This button here is to toggle through the display, so let's take a look real quick. We have an 11-inch fully digital gauge cluster. You can have it show full map view. This view helps out with your adaptive cruise control, but it can still show your music off to the right. This view here has the speedometer in the middle, and then it shows battery information and charge status. And with this having Google built in, you can have full view Google Maps. This part here at the top of the wheel has a little light bar inside of it, and that's the status bar for when you're using hands-free driving. We do get a flat bottom on the wheel and the obligatory Type S badge at the bottom. And you're gonna see on these other controls how much it differs from other Acura models. So for one, your music controls are actually on the back of the wheel. So right behind the wheel here is the volume up and volume down. And on the back of the left side is fast forward and rewind. And then sticking out here at the very top is the paddle for the regenerative braking. Typically on Honda and Acura models, your windshield wipers are off to the right, but as you can see here, we have the transmission selector off to the right. The button here at the end of the stalk is park. You go up for reverse and down for drive. And now on the left side, here is where you'll find all of your windshield wiper controls. That's for the front wipers as well as the rear. And of course, it is still your turn signal. Steering wheel is also power tilting and telescoping. And now here in the center of the interior is an 11.3-inch infotainment touchscreen. And if you're familiar with Acura's infotainment, this will not look familiar whatsoever because, again, this software is from GM. But GM actually does really good infotainment software. I think maybe even better than Honda does. So this is a plus. But on the home screen, you can see how many different things there are. You have your vehicle status. This has Google built in, so that means Google Assistant and the Play Store. You have your charging information. This has parking assist. This also has Wi-Fi hotspot, and it comes with OnStar along with Acura Link. So for the connected services, you get the GM and the Honda. You have Google News, Google Maps built in, but the display, it's nice and bright, and it has nice clear resolution. Now, what I will say about the camera, the 360 camera is nice and accurate, looks pretty sharp, and there's not a whole lot of distortion. But I will say the backup camera, the field of view is not very big. So backup cameras typically have a wide angle lens. This one isn't all that wide, so I find myself still having to look behind me and to the side when I'm backing up. So that is one minor complaint about the backup camera. The resolution is decent, but I don't think the angle is wide enough. This Acura ZDX Type S comes with an 18-speaker Bang & Olufsen audio system, so let's take a quick listen. Up top here, we have a nice digital rear view mirror. As far as connections go, we have 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt outlet. This thing right here is just kind of open and wide. I mean, you can put your phone there if you're not using the wireless charger also. Down here is a really big open space. Again, you could probably fit a small bag or a purse down there. You got your 2 cup holders. And now inside the armrest, since there is no traditional transmission with this being an EV, tons of storage space, goes down really deep, and there's a nice light inside of it too. And inside the glove box, it's pretty average size, so can't complain. One thing here I am glad to report is that the AC controls are all physical buttons. We have nice dials in the front, they feel nice and sturdy. You have your buttons for your ventilated and heated seats. Of course, your defroster, fan speed, zone, all that good stuff. Up above, we have a really large panoramic moonroof that goes all the way to the back passengers. Adds a lot of nice natural light to the interior, just makes it feel a bit more airy and even makes it feel bigger in a way. So now I am in the back seat, right behind where I'd have the driver's seat adjusted for myself at 6 feet tall. So with this being a mid-size EV, these new EVs tend to have a more stretched out wheelbase. As you can see in this mid-size SUV, I have about 4 or 5 inches of legroom to spare, so very roomy. I can stretch a little bit if I want to. We get a pocket behind both seat backs. Down here we have a control center for the rear AC controls. As you can see, you can adjust the fan speed and the temperature along with the zone. There's also an automatic mode, and the 2 outer seats both are heated. And here on the rear door panel, everything matches the one up front. The nice leather on the armrest, this metallic trim right here, the metallic door handle, and the speaker grille. And we also have the ambient lighting strip. And for the rear, we also get manual adjusting sunshades. And as part of that Bang & Olufsen audio system, we have a speaker in the headliner on both sides, and both sides up front too. And just like up in the front, nice suede accents on the seats in the rear too. In the center, we have a pull tab for the armrest, nice and soft, and 2 cup holders.
MSRP of this Acura ZDX Type S with all its options is $75,450. Big thank you to Acura for loaning me this ZDX Type S to keep for an entire week to be able to give you the most thorough review possible. Let me know your thoughts on the new ZDX down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Let me know down in the comments what other vehicles you want to see on the channel next, and be sure to follow @OpticalAutomotive on TikTok? Yeah, we'll see about that. Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.